All right, it is 1:30 Central, so we will get started. Welcome everyone to today's webinar, Delivering Activities from Plant Science, Corn, and Greenhouse Insect Curriculum Online. My name is Emily Klinsky. I am on the marketing team here at Realityworks. Presenting today, we have with us Jamey McIntosh. He is our Real Career Product Manager. Jamey has been with Realityworks for 9 years and came to us with an extensive education background as a former teacher teaching in Wisconsin and in Colorado. His topics cover student engagement, technology in the classroom, gaming, filling the skills gap, business education, and various agriculture and welding topics. So he's a pretty great resource for today's webinar. So I'll go ahead and pass things over to Jamey.
All right, thank you very much, Emily. Really appreciate you being here today, and want to just talk for a little bit about some of the options that and things we're going to be covering today. So to start with our Zoom meeting here, to begin, there is a place for a chat or a question and answer area for you. So if you are interested in that, all you need to do is down at the bottom here, there's a little area that says chat. Put your questions or things that maybe you want covered that maybe weren't as clear. Put your answers in there, and we'd be happy to try to answer all those. We will have a question and answer time at the very end. So just to help you in this time, in this very unusual time, we also want to talk to you about with Zoom here. We are recording this. We will be sending this out to you by email, so you can have this, and then also I'm giving you direct links to your curriculum that is for your usage. So just to kind of walk through that, we have on our website, realityworks.com, if you click on the area, so you have to go on here and scroll down a little bit, it says COVID-19 response. You click on the Learn More, and when you click on that, it brings you into resources and ideas for continued learning. This is where we have put, for this time period, all of our curriculums and guides online for you, allowing you to be able to use that online in this remote learning situation today, so you can go ahead and do and look at that. So the other thing that we have here is, as you click through that, just give you an example of our work that we're talking about today in the plant science world. All you have to do is click on the hydroponics and plant science. As soon as you click on that, it then opens up to give you the different models and different curriculums on different products that we currently provide for you. And inside of those, then it gives you things like the instructor guide, curriculum, and then also certification and completion for different products that your students might complete, and the coursework that they do. So that is all something that will be pushed out to you. Again, we'll give you those links, but you can go, just to kind of back up, to our website, realityworks.com. All of those pieces are there. Access your guides and curriculum, and you can get all that information. So with that said, let's get started here. So just to introduce myself again, my name is Jamey McIntosh, and this is a very unusual time. I'm doing this webinar from home, like you are doing it from your homes, or kind of isolated in some cases, but want to just encourage you as we go forward in some different ways that we have seen, and we have worked with different educators on how they are using the products that we have, curriculum we have, as we get started here. So I want to start with some remote learning and teaching opportunities here. So one of the things that came from interaction with different ag teachers and different teachers from all walks of CTE is this quote that came from one of the teachers who said, hey, we know the content and we're looking for the correct approach. And this is a different world. It's not hands-on. And if you've been in any of our webinars before, you've seen and understand that, yep, things are a little different. And so how do we then work in a different light? So the first thing that I want to introduce here is I want to talk to you about just some ideas for how to do this online and remote learning. Now, again, lots of different ways you can do it, and every teacher is different and has a unique way of doing it. Here are some ideas that we want to share with you. So in this case here, I'm going to start with building your course time. Now, you've been in it, and as the last day of April here today, this month has felt like a year for a lot of people. We get that, we understand that. And so maybe it's time to take a deep breath and say, how can I change something up? How can I do something a little different? And we want to help maybe give you some new ideas, or maybe it's something you've heard from us before or heard before, but it's a reminder of, oh yeah, there's different ways to do this, and it might just help to kind of be a breath of fresh air. And that's what we really want to be, is a breath of fresh air for you and what you're doing. So I have used the word plant to get you to think about different ways of building your course time. And the first one is the P, and that is participate in relational educational time. One of the things that I've been seeing and hearing and reading a lot about is educational time is important. But in this time, one of the things that we have to also look for is the relational time of our students. We don't get to see them every single day, all day long, you know, in the passing periods of the hallway and study halls or different prep times and things of that nature. We see them very little. And so it's not only our job as really seeing how do we help them educationally, but also working with them relationally. What can we do to help them and see how they're doing? So participate with your students. Tell them a story about your life and get that relationship involved with their lives as well. I think that's sometimes a big thing there. Another one to work on here is to work with this idea of learning how to struggle. And so this is a time that is very difficult for a lot of different people. And I get that. We get that. We understand that. One of the things here is, how do we learn how to struggle, and how do we help our students learn that? Because life is a struggle. And so what are some things we can do to try to learn and almost coping mechanisms of how in the struggle, okay, what can we still do? And again, it's a different type of teaching. And I know working with a lot of FFA ag instructors, you work with your students on how to be leaders and how to help students to see the task at hand, see what the issues could be, and how to work through those issues. And so this is just another opportunity to reinforce and walk through, yeah, this is a struggle. How are we getting through it? What are some ways to do that? And that kind of leads into the A for anticipate the ups and downs. Other ideas and ways to help is, there are going to be good days, so there are going to be bad days. And I am just coming to hopefully be a help to you as teachers to say, we understand that, and not every day is going to be great, and that's okay. And hopefully that is a little bit of a weight off your shoulders as you're working hard, and we see you working hard. It's going to be ups and downs, but we're going to get through this, and you're going to make it through. So we appreciate what you're doing. The next one is new ways of learning, and this is kind of the fun one. This is what we're talking about today. We have a whole bunch of different learning opportunities here for you to walk through, and we want to help you with that as well. So want to talk through some new ideas, some new curriculum, maybe some new focuses. We're going to get that. And then the last one, the T, teach the fun. There's a lot of tough things, but one of the big things that we can help remind ourselves, remind our students, is that when you're having fun, learning is much easier. When you're having fun and making it fun, teaching can grab on, and the learning opportunities can be remembered so much more if we can teach the fun for our students. So here's some thoughts that we have for you that I want to just walk through, some teaching opportunities. So the first one here is this idea of remote lecture. Okay, you're doing this right now. I'm doing this right now as I lecture to you, is giving the opportunity to just lecture and let your students get an understanding in a time frame of day to day of how you're doing things, what is important, what are the key factors that you're kind of working on and working through. All right. Another one is lecture and then do some presentation slides, and that's kind of what you're seeing right now. Is I'm lecturing, I'm talking, but it's a visual opportunity to be able to see it. The next one we're going to talk about is lecture, PowerPoint slides, and then hands-on activity. How can we get some students to do the hands-on? Because right now it's hard for students to do hands-on. And then finally, we're going to talk about the lecture, the PowerPoint, and then a demo, or doing some demo work with your students. So starting off with remote lecture, we always say it's important to have a focus. What's your focus for the day? Give them something to look at. If it's you lecturing, maybe it's something you're going to share with them, show it, and give them something to look at. Use demonstration to help keep the focus. And that's kind of that thing where if you're lecturing, take a break every once in a while, give them a demo, tell them what you're doing or why you're doing it, so they kind of get that understanding and get that opportunity. and then have students respond to questions and discuss what they're working on. For a presentation style, then, it's a lot of the similarities, just straight out lecture, but the benefit can sometimes be that visual, being able to have slides, have an ability to show pictures and visually see what you're talking about. And there's different ways to do it. Sometimes it's to do a demo first and then present your slides. Sometimes it's to do your presentation and then kind of do a demo. So you can either talk one way or the other to get them to understand what you're going and working on. And then the next one is adding activity into that. All right, explain the purpose of the lecture, the PowerPoint, but then have an activity that kind of reinforces and helps that. Now, the big thing with activity in today's day and age with remote learning is sometimes you can't be there to give them that activity. So you got to start thinking of different ways of how can you have them use what they have in their own houses, in their own backyards, in their own abilities to be able to do. And so sometimes that activity, that hands-on thing, might look different than planting something or going through and making something. Maybe it's things like drawing something or creating a video of something, or different ways than maybe what you've done in the past. But encourage them to answer questions and to gauge their learning by their activity that they do and see, are they getting what they need to know? And then finally is adding the demo. And again, this is that demonstration where sometimes the demo could be the fun piece, where sometimes you got to make yourself look silly, or you got to make yourself do different things that will not be done in the classroom next year when we get back into the classroom. So this is the time to do something totally different. There's hopefully never going to be a time like this that we have to deal with this again. Now is the time to kind of say, hey, in this one opportunity, what are some demo pieces that I can do that's so with that, again, our remote options is just going through and being able to look at different ways that can help with that. So let's dive into some of our activities here that we're going to talk about. So first off here is the activities from Plant Science Kit. So we're going to go through and all the different plant science curricula that we have, we picked out 3 main areas here. The first one is we're going to talk about Plant Science Kit. Then we're going to talk about corn stalk and corn grain models. And we're going to end with our greenhouse insect curriculum. Now, the greenhouse insect is a special sneak peek because it has not even launched yet. And so that will be something that we will talk about as well. All right, so with this here, all of our curriculum starts with a focus, then moves to learning, and then has a review. So it really kind of focuses in that kind of 45-minute to 60-minute class period, really holding on and working in those 3 areas. So what we're going to really focus on right now is talking through our Plant Science Kit. So our Plant Science Kit is something where if you have it, it is a great demonstrator. It has different models, it has posters. It's a great piece to be able to use in demonstration and online learning. Now, if you don't have it and don't have the hands-on components of it, the trivia game and the models and the posters, you can still use the curriculum. The curriculum still allows you with the PowerPoint presentations and the worksheets and the activity guide and the teacher guides. It still is a very powerful piece for you. But just to kind of talk through here, we have our Plant Science Kit. And what I want to show you and walk through is that there are 7 different lessons that are available for you in just the curriculum, walking through Introduction to Plant Science, plant cells, leaves, roots, stems, flowering plants, plant identification features, photosynthesis, respiration, transpiration, and then career exploration. There are 7 lessons that is wrapped up nicely in our Plant Science Kit that you can use for free right now with your students. So with that being said, I'm going to walk through a little bit of the Plant Science Kit curriculum for you. So starting with an overview, this is one of the things that you could do, and what we would suggest maybe being able to use for plant science is start with a focus, understanding plant science, move to classifications, and then do a review and get into the the plant cell formation. So to begin with, we have a plant science mind map activity where basically it's asking students to ask questions about what around us is involved in the study of plant science, what is involved, and let them actually start thinking and get outside, look around their house, move to different areas and think differently than what they see in a school or in a classroom, but what are they seeing in their everyday life that they pass every day? What is around us that involves the study of plant science? And then have them do a little bit of a talk or discussion. Maybe do a little online research of different ideas of what plant science could be, and have a really deep conversation of what around us is all involved with plant science. The plastic water bottle that you're using, you know, how does that involve plant science? You know, the clothes that we wear, the bamboo cutting board that you are cutting your food on. There's a lot of different things to kind of work through on finding ways and looking at what is involved with plant science. Again, with our curriculum and our PowerPoint slides, then you can actually start talking about, hey, you know, here's some different examples that the curriculum talks about, and have them start looking and saying, okay, how do these different visuals, what does that involve, and what is plant science all about? So using the curriculum to really engage them and say, okay, start looking around in everything we do. It may include or allow your students to engage even more, because it all of a sudden hits very close to home because they're in their home and seeing what's going on there. Now the learn part then is start working in the plant classifications. We have great PowerPoint slides and great worksheet examples, note-taking opportunities for your students then to be able to go through what plant classification is, to walk through non-vascular and vascular types of plants, and if it's seed dispersion or if it's spore dispersion, talking about dicot and monocot. So we have a whole list of different great visuals and teaching opportunities for your students to learn about plant science and what each different kind of classification means and why it's important to have those classifications. And then it breaks us down even farther into the plant cell structure and what is the structure of a flower, structure of a plant, and going through that. So again, by doing all this, we have a review here, and one of the reviews, again, because you're in a different type of learning modality in today's day and age, sometimes it can't be that you can show them these things in the classroom or in the greenhouse. So one of the things you can do is have them draw the plant cell, have them do drawings, have them do coloring, have them do creating of their own plant cells with different materials around the house or in their garage or different things like that, or go out and have them find different types of plants that are growing in their backyard or things of that nature. But getting them to start do and have an activity and demonstrate, okay, yep, I understand, is very important, especially now where they can then start showing this and seeing this and having that discussion or that interaction with what one student has versus another, getting them involved and engaged in that world. So just to kind of focus here and kind of respond, that is a very quick little overview of basically part of lesson 1 and part of lesson 2, Introduction to Plant Science and Plant Cells. That is a very quick thing, but all of the lessons 1 through 7 have worksheets, PowerPoint slides, interactive activities, and note-taking activities, group activities, different things for you and your students to be able to work on and use, again, all online, and all you have to do is go and find those on our website, Realityworks.com, and go to that COVID-19 response, and then all that is there for you to grab. All right, moving on to another 2 products we have is lessons from corn grain and corn stalk. So using kind of an example here is, again, if you have the corn grain model or the corn stalk model, they are great for demonstration. If you don't have these products, that is okay. The curriculum is still there. You can still use the PowerPoint slides, still use the curriculum for this area here. Now, what we're talking in the corn stalk curriculum is probably about an hour to 2 hours of walking through the anatomy and the deficiencies that are involved. So a little overview here of this lesson that you can be using is the corn stalk anatomy, giving students a great understanding of the corn plant and what is involved with that. And then going in a little deeper of the deficiencies, talking about what the deficiencies look like, why is that important, This is a great time as we are in the spring season, and this kind of discussion should be happening when people are about ready to plant, when agriculture is ready to plant these different crops, and what do you need to know, and what do you need to be looking for as the season begins, and all the way to harvest. How are you looking for these different identification and know the different deficiencies and how to identify them? So in the focus section, one of the things is the questions, all right? Just ask your students, do they know the parts of the corn plant? You know, what do they know by just looking at a corn plant, all right? What are the different features? And see, you know, how many students understand what the different features are, but also what's the purpose of those features? Can you draw a corn plant and label the parts from memory? Again, getting them to be active and doing something in this sense. And then bringing out in one of our worksheets here is actually having them go through and label and get an understanding for the anatomy, being able to understand what's going on there. The next piece here is getting into some of our slide presentations. And in this case, there's notes that you could do a lecture with slide presentations here, with your slide presentations, like I'm doing now, and have your students be able to take notes while you're doing that. Maybe it's turning it in for a participation grade. Maybe it's something that they can use for a quiz or a test that might be coming up. Those are different options there for them to use. But the great thing and the really cool thing is that our PowerPoint slides are very colorful, exact representation of the different growing deficiencies or nutrient deficiencies that are out there right now. And the cool thing about this is that it gives not only the information about how this deficiency comes about, but what it looks like, and then what are the conditions that you need to work through and what you need to do to correct these problems as well. So we go through what a healthy leaf looks like, and then deficiency of nitrogen, all right, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, zinc, sulfur, iron, and there's 8 different deficiencies that you can work with and go through, and they are all really nicely colored and organized PowerPoint slides for you to walk through and work with your students on how to visually inspect and understand what the deficiencies are, and then what you need to do to correct these deficiencies. So as you see these here, this is great opportunity to be able to share and get your students to have a really strong understanding. While they may have to not be able to go out and go to the field or do these things, they can learn these things, so when the time comes that they get to go there at some point, they have a better understanding, knowledge of these different things. Again, these are all part of the curriculum that we are giving to you for free. The next one here is a review. Once you've gone through and worked through the identification of the different deficiencies with the problem, we also have a corn plant here, or corn grain worksheet. And in the worksheet here, it allows you to go through and identify the different parts of the corn grain, allowing you to really work through and understand what those different things is, as well as going through, and we have these great worksheets that talk about the different or show different leaves, and then the student can actually color and draw in the deficiency. So they can actually look at here and see what the different deficiency is, and have to draw it out. So visually to share and show that, allowing your students to get that hands-on activity as well. All right, with the time left here, I want to focus on our newest product. This is the greenhouse insects. And in this case here, just giving you a sneak peek here of our greenhouse insect kit. This product allows you to show exact replicas and larger than life size, so they can see the texture, see the detail of larger than life models here. But again, this is something that is just coming out. So this kit itself is for learning purposes, but it won't actually be out until the end of May. So something you can look at. But those of you who are on this this call today, you actually will get some of the curriculum ahead of time. The curriculum is not supposed to be out until mid-May the end of May, we are going to send you some of these curriculum pieces that we're talking about today because you are on this webinar. So thank you for doing that, and hopefully this will help you to see what this this product is about and give you kind of a new view of what other products we have that are available here. So with the greenhouse insect, what we have is, again, really looking at and just defining in the focus area what is a pest, and then understanding the difference between chewing and sucking insects, and then we'll have an insect quiz along with this one. So in this case here, what is a pest? The focus is what is the problem that insects can do to plants? Okay, not all insects are bad for plants, but which ones are good for them, which ones are bad, and really focusing on greenhouse insects. Why? Well, one of the big things is a lot of schools, a lot of you have the greenhouses. And so we are starting with this because we want students to be able to walk into their greenhouse and work with the greenhouse and the different plants and the plants that they have right there in the greenhouse, and what insects can be the most harmful in a greenhouse situation. So walking through and talking to your students, when you look at this picture here of why is there issues with these different leaves here? Why is it important to have the health of the plant? What does that do to you financially? What could it do cosmetically if you're trying to sell these plants? What are some different issues that could happen because of having pests in your greenhouse? Now, what we do then is we have actually slides that walks through what a pest is, and then focusing on greenhouse insects, what are the issues that can be a problem in a greenhouse and why certain insects really like the greenhouse versus out in the everyday world around us, and then how to control and manage some of these different problems that you might have in there. So from there then, with this, now we have the insects that in the case here with all the different details of every single type of insect, but that again is coming out in May, so you can order that and get that. What we are allowing you to do and give you now is talking about the PowerPoint slides is just that. There is great information on 8 different insects. And so from the chewing insects, talking about the fungus gnat and the shore fly, and then going into the sucking insects and going through what is their classification, what do they do, what is the damages that they do, and then ultimately, how do you then fix the problem, and what do you do to change this from being an issue? So walking through each of these. Finally, then we have a quiz for you on the different greenhouse insects. And so with this here, what you see here is our insert talking about each individual insect and the problems that these insects can cause. And there's a quiz that goes along with it, allowing your students to then be able to identify and then talk about what the issue is, what stage of their life cycle are they an issue, and what do you do in that world. So have this as an option as well with the quiz for you as well. So with that said, I want to just again say that these are different options for you out there. You can go out there onto our website and check these resources out. So classroom resources, realityworks.com. You can also go to our agriculture area and dig in deeper into there for more product information. Some have videos, opportunities there, but then the free curriculum is also where you want to go. And we're kind of starting to wrap up some of our conversation here, but if you have questions, please make sure that you put your questions in the chat area, and we're coming down to the question and answer section, so give you a few minutes to type in any questions that you may have as we go through here. So want to remind you how to get your curriculum, because that's the real key feature here that we want to give out to you. So in this case here, go to the COVID-19 response, the learn more on realityworks.com. You click on that button, and then from there you go to the guides and the curriculum. And this is where then when you click on guides and click curriculum, it brings you in, and you can go to the hydroponics and plant science area, pick what curriculum you're looking for. And when you click on that, it gives you instructor guides, it gives you the curriculum and presentation slides, and it gives you any other guidance or features or pieces that we have that is involved there. Also, right now, I want to talk to you a little bit about some great kind of savings that we want to pass along to you in this time. There is 10% off our entire agricultural product lineup. So that includes all of our animal science and veterinary products, all of our hydroponics products, all of our employability and welding and trade skills products, and also all of our plant science products. So if that is something that you're interested in, right now is the time to get that. It goes to the end of May, where you can get an extra 10% off your products in this world, okay? Now, last thing I want to do, and thank you for giving me the time here, is one of the things that we have for you is the ability here to just talk for a moment here about our hydroponic systems. So one of the things with our hydroponic systems that we have is this is another place that right now you might be at home or you might not be able to do this, but as you're getting ready for next year, here is some educational products that you can be thinking about and adding to your program in the plant science world. And so we have both a plant lab educational hydroponic system, which is 3 separate levels of nutrient and water consumption. So you could have different levels with different plants on each level. And then we also have the plant producer, which is one nutrient tub here, and then it does, and it waters and feeds all 3 levels, allowing you to do 3 different levels of the same plant or produce in that world. So these are 2 different options, and kind of just to talk to you about it, a few things for that. One, Fast Company, the magazine and online presence there, they have highlighted Realityworks and the hydroponic system as one of the World Changing Ideas Award winners for this year, and they see it as changing how we bring about not only educational philosophy and teaching, but also growing methods. And so that is something that we've just gotten, as well as this next week here, we're going to be featured, and we're featured right now on the We Are Teachers website. And we are giving away one of these units. So you want to go to the We Are Teachers website and put your information there, because we'll be giving away one of our hydroponic systems. So another opportunity for you to get some cool stuff as well. So with that said, have a little time for some question and answer. And thank you again for taking the time to be here. And so want to just go to the question and answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, so we had some people sign in a little bit late. Can you just go over what everyone's going to be getting after the webinar one more time?
No problem. And I'll just back up and kind of walk through that again. So what we are doing is the video, this video, we are recording this webinar. So we will send this out in a video format so you can walk through and watch it again if you need to. We will also have all the curriculum options for you, and kind of just walk through this again, but we'll have the link for you so you can go. And the way you do it is you go to realityworks.com, and on our website you scroll down and there's COVID-19 response and it says learn more. You click on the learn more, and what that does is it gives you different resources and options here for the webinars that we've done, free lesson plans, and that's where you want to go in and get the free lesson plans for our product. Once you click on that, it opens up and you can then click on corn grade model or corn stalk or plant science, the things we just talked about, and it will give you free curriculum, all of our curriculum for you and to be able to use. All right. So from there then, it gives you things like instructor guides, curriculum, layouts, and then also, depending on what you've done, some completion certification. So you'll get that information of where to go and get that. The last thing is then you'll also get our certification of completion, telling you about that you were part of this and that you did this for any kind of development that you need. And then we also have, we'll give you that information on where to get the 10% off if you need
All right, Jamie, we have some interest in the greenhouse insects in the curriculum, but you mentioned that it wasn't out yet. So how are they going to have access to that curriculum?
So great question. So just a reminder, so yes, it is not out until mid-May, where we'll put it on the website there, but we will be putting it in that email tomorrow. What you saw today, you will get that lesson about greenhouse insect and how to use that because you're on this webinar today. So that will be sent out in a kind of a PDF format of that information for you. So then you can use that as you see fit.
And then one last question. You mentioned the 10% off discount that we're doing for agriculture. Can
Mhm.
you show them on the website where to go for the video, where they can see videos of our products?
Sure thing. Yep. So I will share here. I'll have to do a different share here. So just one second here. Here we go. So, all right. So sharing here, this is our website, realityworks.com. And again, in this case, up on top here, it says products. And so in this, you should be able to see it saying products. You click on there, you go to our plant science area. When I click on plant science, it then gives you all of our products and what is involved in each of our products. So you can click on things like we talked about the corn stalk model. You can click on there and it gives you different pictures of the different leaves and different options in that world, what's the curriculum is about, and then any specifications that are available there too. And then you can go back, you can click on the plant science, and it will give you more information as well. It's coming here, it's coming. It's being slow for me here. And maybe let me try it one more time. There we go. So sorry, I jumped to the greenhouse insect because it was getting there. Here is again the greenhouse insect. It gives you the specifications. It gives you different pictures of the different insects. It has promotions and product support help as well for those. So. And then here's the plant science one. So you can go and view these on our website.
All right, it looks like that is all of our questions for today, Jamie.
Okay, well, want to just say again, thank you very much for the time that you gave us here. If you have more questions, feel free to ask by going on our information at realityworks.com or calling us. We want to be helpful to you as you are doing the hard work, working hard to help our students and really appreciate what you're doing. So if you have more questions, feel free to get a hold of us through our information at realityworks.com or call us toll free and we'll get back to you to try to help you with your needs. Again, thank you for what you've done and keep on doing the good work. Keep on keeping on in these trials. Thank you very much. Looks like there's maybe one more question here.
Yep. One more is, how is the hydroponics different from the plant science section?
Oh, okay. So the difference is the hydroponics has its own curriculum as well. I didn't walk through that. That's another curriculum on how to grow using hydroponics. But it's more focused on growing hydroponic through using hydroponics than just the different structure and foundational pieces of plant science. You know, the leaves and the margin and things of that nature. That's the plant science kit and kind of going that. Hydroponics system is, their curriculum is based on how to grow in a water-based system. So that's going to be another question or another way of doing that. So, yep. All right. So another question is I've downloaded some of the materials but can't open them because I cannot unzip the file. There is a way when you click on the file here And maybe now, thank you for all who have come on, but maybe I can try to just walk through some of that kind of help now in this world here. So let me share my screen one more time here, and I will just walk through, all right, sharing that. In this case, how you would actually go through, because I know that is a question that a lot of people have asked, is getting to the product. So I'm on the very front homepage for us. I go to Learn More. In this case here, you go down to Resources, all right, and it says Free Lesson Plans. So I click on the Free Lesson Plans. Oops, there we go. Got to go back. Excuse me. Let me sorry. The Guides and Curriculum. That's where I want to go, is Guides and Curriculum. Click on the Guides and Curriculum. And then in here, it has all the different products here. And so all I have to do is click on the plus sign, and I can go to one of these. So I'll just go to the plant science one here, and it will show here a instructor guide, curriculum and slideshow download, and then a certification download. So all I'm going to do is go to the curriculum and slideshow download. And now the hard piece of this is down in the corner here, it says understanding basic, and then it kind of cuts off and it says zip. This is where I'm going to open or show in the folder. So that will pop up in its own folder. Bring this over here. And in this case, it's understanding basic plant science. And so when I click on that, it should then, whoops, let me make it a little clearer for you. Understanding basic plant science. So it was a piece of this understanding, and it's a zip file or compressed file. When I click on that, it should open up to understanding, and then you just click again, and then inside here are your PowerPoint slides, and then all of your plant science curriculum in a PDF format that there for you as well. So walking you through everything you need in that world. So hopefully that helps and gives you a little, as that walkthrough there, of how to kind of go about and grabbing all that curriculum. So. All right, with that, I thank everybody for this time. And if you do have more questions, feel free to contact us. We'll try to help in any way we can as you're going through this. Thank you very much.